Hello and welcome back to April May Codes. I'm your host, April May, and in today's video, I'm diving into a crucial part of your Python journey, and that is choosing an integrated development environment, or IDE. I'll be comparing two popular options and going over some pros and cons of each, and at the end, I'll share my thoughts on figuring out which one might be best for your needs. So let's get started. The two that I'm going to be comparing are VS Code and Pycharm. VS Code is a free open source IDE developed by Microsoft. It's incredibly popular not just for Python, but for a wide range of programming languages. And Pycharm is an IDE developed by JetBrains specifically for Python. And it offers two versions, the Community Edition, which is free and is the one that I'll be referring to in this video, and the Professional Edition, which is paid. So, going into the Pycharm pros. Obviously, first is that it's free if you choose the Community Edition. It is built specifically for Python. It's designed with Python in mind, so it offers features that make Python development a breeze. And some of those features include the one-click imports. Instead of needing to know the exact pip command, you can just click and import and install your package. Or you can search for packages to install. The to-do comments, it highlights to-do comments, making it easier to keep track of what needs to be done, creating your own little to-do list right in your code with links to the file that the to-do comment is in, so you can really keep track of what you need to do next. And upon creating a new project, you're asked if you want to create a virtual environment with that project. And that if you're like me and forget that that is something that you need to do with Python projects when it's not right in your face, is incredibly useful. So let's move on to the cons of Pycharm. It has limited language support in the free version. It lacks support for languages other than Python, so you can still code in them, but features like syntax highlighting and autocompletion might not be available. And the free version also lacks some advanced tools and framework support that are available in the professional edition. And it's less customizable. So while it is customizable, it's not as flexible as VS Code in terms of extensions and themes. So moving on to VS Code. Number one, it's lightweight. It's a lot faster than Pycharm. It is highly customizable. You can really create the perfect workspace for you with all the extensions and the themes available. There's something for everyone. VS Code isn't just for Python. It supports a multitude of languages out of the box, so it makes it a versatile choice if you want to work with different technologies. And it is also free. Now on to the cons for VS Code. It is not specifically tailored to Python. So while VS Code supports Python very well, it's not specifically designed for it. So this just means that some features that are Python specific might not be as seamless as in Pycharm. And the other con that I listed for VS Code is that it can be overwhelming for beginners. The vast array of extensions and customization options can be overwhelming if you're just starting out. It might take some time to get everything set up the way you want, and you might just want to jump right into the code instead of having to worry about all that. So let's look into that a little bit further. This is Pycharm, open with my tarot reading project. And this is VS Code with my project skeleton generator project open. That'll be coming up in a future video. In Pycharm, creating a new project is as simple as going to File, New Project. You'll be prompted to choose a name, a directory, and if you want to create a Git repo and a virtual environment, which I love. You can also opt to start with a main.py file already created for you. And to run your Pycharm code, you just click this little play button right up here. In VS Code, however, navigate back there, the new project creation isn't quite as hand-holdy, which is fine. You just create your directory, create your files, and save them. But as a beginner, having that extra bit of hand-holding made me feel more comfortable in what I was doing, however silly that sounds. I came into VS Code and I was like, what are all these options on the side? Where's my handy little run button? What do you mean I can't just click and import? It was, I don't know, it makes me feel silly now, but VS Code was just intimidating, and I wanted something straightforward and simple. So if you're anything like me, VS Code might seem a little bit complex. But let's talk about the other points I mentioned. Right off the bat, I'm sure you can tell there's a stark difference in the theme between my VS Code and my Pycharm. Pycharm has various themes for you to choose from, but the options are somewhat limited. Let's see, this one's closer to what I have. It's not quite what I like. It does offer a lot of different themes, but when you go to VS Code, the options are practically endless. You can search for themes by things like color or style. If I want to look for a green theme, there's a bunch of green themes right there. You can search dark or light, any type of theme that you're looking for. And you can also create your own custom theme like I did. That's what you're looking at here, and also coming up in a future video. So VS Code has the extensions marketplace on the side here, and it's just full of ways to customize your workspace. If you're working with Python, you'll want to get the Python and PyLance extensions. I think the PyLance actually comes automatically with the Python extension now that I think about it. But that adds things like code completion and auto imports to VS Code. Some of the things I was going to miss most about Pycharm when I started working with VS Code. There's also a to-do tree extension. It basically adds the to-do functionality from Pycharm into VS Code with additional keywords that you can use, including bug, hack, and fix me, and the option to customize your own and customize the styling of it and everything. And if you like my theme, that's also available on the marketplace. Just search for Blossom's Dark Theme. So, it probably seems like my recommendation would be VS Code. But for beginners working on Python-specific projects, I'd actually suggest starting with Pycharm. If you don't mind plainer themes, or less of a selection at least, it's specifically tailored for Python, and I personally use it for my Pygame projects. You don't have to remember to create a virtual environment because it does that. It prompts you upon project creation, eliminating the need to venture into the intimidating command line. Was anybody else nervous about running commands at first? I was always sure that I was going to break something. So you don't even need to worry about that with Pycharm, for the virtual environment at least. However, if you're working on projects that involve a lot of JavaScript, for example, then VS Code might be a better choice due to its versatility and extensive support for multiple languages. Personally, I've been leaning toward VS Code more often lately, largely because of my custom theme, which I just find more fun to look at. And the transition from Pycharm to VS Code was made so much easier thanks to the extensions, bringing some of the Pycharm features I love into the new IDE. In truth, though, my recommendation is all of them. Test out VS Code, test out Pycharm, test out Atom, try it all on and see what fits. You'll never know what works best for you until you experience it. So, that is it for today's video. While my non-committal recommendation may not have helped you determine which IDE is better, I hope it inspired you to try them. And if you have, which is your favorite, and what makes that workspace perfect for you? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on all my latest videos. I've got a lot of fun stuff planned. And as always, thank you for watching. Happy coding!